studied about Thallophyta and Bryophytes. Today we will start with the third group, that is pteridophytes. Pteridophytes includes plants like horsetails and ferns. These pteridophytes are seedless vascular plants. These are the first terrestrial plants which have vascular tissues in them. Vascular tissue means xylem and phloem, which helps in transportation of water and minerals and translocation of food. These pteridophytes, they grow in cool, damp, shady places. In previous group, we studied that gametophytic phase is the dominant phase in the life cycle of bryophytes and thallophytes. In pteridophytes, the main plant body is sporophyte, and this main plant body is very well differentiated into two roots, stems and leaves. And these organs possess well differentiated vascular tissues. The leaves in pteridophytes may be small, called microphyls. For example, in Slaginella, or they may be large, which are called macrophyls, like in ferns. The sporophyte bear sporangia, that is a leaf like that grows in a leaf like appendages called sporophyll. In some plants, these sporophylls, they get compact and form cone like structures which are called strobili, and such strobili form in Flagellina and Equisetum. In these sporangia, spores are produced in spore mother cells by meiotic division, which is a reductional division, and haploid spores are produced. These haploid spores, they germinate and develop into inconspicuous small multicellular free living photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes, and these thalloid gametophytes are called prothallus. For growth, these gametophytes require cool, damp and shady place. As I told, these pteridophytes, they require water for fertilization, and due to these specific restricted requirements of habitat and water, these pteridophytes, they are spread in very restricted areas to very few geographical regions. The gametophytes, they bear sex organs, male sex organs and female sex organs. Male sex organs are called entheridia and female sex organs are called entherozoids. Here in the diagram you can check the male. Here it is gametophyte, which is thalloid structure. This gametophyte containing male sex organs, that is entheridia, and they are producing female sex organ called archegonia. Male gametes are produced in male sex organs, which are called entherozoids, and female gametes are produced in archegonium, which is called egg. Water is required for the transfer of male gamete to the egg, So water helps in transferring this male gamete to the mouth of archegonium, and fusion of male gamete with the egg takes place in the archegonium, and this fertilization results in the formation of zygote. Now the zygote is a diploid structure, and it further develops in a multicellular, well differentiated sporophyte. And this sporophyte, this development of this sporophyte from the zygote takes place by mitotic division, and sporophyte is a diploid structure which is very well differentiated into root, stem and leaves, as you can see in the diagram. And this sporophyte is the dominant phase in the life cycle of pteridophytes. Again, in these sporophytes, sporophylls develop. Inside the sporophyll, sporangia develop, which contains spores, and these spores produce gametophyte. So this is the life cycle of pteridophytes. Contain two phases, gametophytic phase and sporophytic phase. Dominant phase is sporophyte because plant spend larger time of its life in this sporophytic phase, in the diploid phase. In majority of the pteridophytes, all the spores are of similar kind, and such plants are called homosporous. But in some plants, there are two kinds of spores, the larger macrospores and the smaller microspores, and the condition is called heterosporous. This kind of condition occur in Slegionella and Salvinia. These megaspores and microspores germinate and give rise to female and male gametophyte. Megaspore give rise to female gametophyte and microspore give rise to male gametophyte. The female gametophyte in these plants, they are retained on the parent sporophyte, and the development of the zygote into the young embryo takes place within this female gametophyte. And this event is very much similar to the seed habit of the higher plants. Like a seed develops in the female sex organ of the plant. So this event is called precursor of the seed habit, and it's considered very important step in the evolution in the plant history. So this was the life cycle of pteridophytes. Now these pteridophytes are further classified into 4 classes. These classes are Coelopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Filicopsida. Coelopsida includes most primitive vascular plants where roots are absent. Only 2 primitive form which are living now, and these are Coelotum and Messipterus, which we study in this group, Coelopsida. Then second group is Lycopsida. These Lycopsida contain primitive vascular plants which have differentiation of roots, stems and leaves, and leaves are microphyllous type. Examples of Lycopsida are Lycopodium and Slegionella. The third class is Sphenopsida. In Sphenopsida, stem is joined and ribbed with leaves, and branches borne in whorls. Example of Sphenopsida is Equisetum. The fourth group is Filicopsida, and Ferns, Dryopteris and Edentum, they includes in this group Phelicopsida. The plants of this group, they are grown as ornamental plants because of their beautiful arrangement of leaves. These pteridophytes, they have some economical importances also. They serve as food like other plants to the animals. They helps in binding of soil even along the hill slopes and prevent soil erosion. These ferns like equisetum, stem of equisetum is used for cleaning of utensils and polishing of metals, and they are called scouring rushes. A water fern azolla helps in nitrogen fixation, which grows in symbiotic association with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria and aviana in the paddy fields. Then ferns are grown as ornamental plants as they look very graceful. So this was all about pteridophytes. Go through the video, read it from your textbook, and if you have any doubt, you can send your doubt on WhatsApp to my personal number, or you may call on my personal number. Do the question answers based on this chapter and write your notes in your notebook. Bye for now. Stay healthy, stay safe.